It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Friday, the 21st of February. I'm Michael Groff. Just want to take this opportunity to thank all of you for the nice comments, the good vibes, the well wishes for myself and for Michelle. We have been dealing with this, I don't even know what you want to call it, a cold on steroids, the creepy crawly crud, whatever it is. It hit us like a truck on Monday afternoon. For me, it peaked on Wednesday. I am feeling a little bit better. I still have a really nasty cough. Sounds like a smoker's cough, despite the fact that I've never picked up a cigarette in my life. And I'm still very tired. Now, for Michelle, she's had a slightly different outcome, a different trajectory with this. She has absolutely no voice now. So hopefully we're back to normal by later this weekend or early next week. I definitely am feeling a bit better, though. So we're trending in the right direction. At least I am. Michelle, we'll see. Boy, this has been a rough one. All right. Now, speaking of rough, this forecast. Hey, if you're a fan of record-breaking temperatures, if you're a fan of warmth, you're a fan of late April weather in February, sure, this is great for you. But for the rest of us, sane folks out there, nope, this is bad news. And I'm just going to let you know right now. All right, you've been forewarned. We will talk about all of that. How warm will it get? How long will it last? What about rain chances? All the usual stuff. We'll dive in and talk about it in just a moment. But before we do that, it is Friday, and that means it's Photo Friday here. That's where we take a look at some of the photos and or videos that you guys have submitted. First up, David Parnell, the guy that took this picture last Saturday. The time, the place was over at Hamilton High School. And wherever David goes, he takes these pictures. And, it was... what was it? It was the winter sports are in their playoffs. I think this is wrestling that he was attending out there. So we thank David for all of his pictures wherever he goes. Really nice. Awesome stuff. That's why we do Photo Friday. We also, look, you can take pictures of the weather, and obviously we're going to show them here. It's a weather video. But you know what else we'll show you? And if you've watched these videos for a long time, you know this. Food. This is from Miles Sampson, and he picked some grapefruits off of his trees out there at his home in Palm Desert, California. Food will always make it onto these videos. So we appreciate that too. I always said if we weren't going to talk about weather, we'll talk food. And sometimes I'd much rather talk about food than 90-degree temperatures in Phoenix. I mean, we could just sit down here one day. We'll just talk about the best place to get a good burger or pizza or a nice salad in Phoenix. Who has the best? Maybe we'll just break that down for you one of these days. Why not? It's a lot better than talking about 90-degree weather in February. All right, now we'll head up to Montana. Buck has some pictures up there. A little bit of a thaw that's gone on, but there's still snow to be found. There's still winter. Believe it or not, for most of the northern hemisphere, it is still winter. It is still cold in many parts of the country, many parts of the world. At least the northern hemisphere, just not here. Yeah. All right, so anyway, thank you to Buck, thank you to David, thank you, Miles, thanks everybody for all of your contributions. We could not do this without you. Photo Friday each and every week, groffshow@gmail.com if you want to submit your photos or videos to us. That's GROFF show@gmail.com for Photo Friday. All right, let's get to it. The almanac from yesterday, 79 degrees, the afternoon high, 51 the morning low, and that's above those averages of 72 and 50. Outside now in the noon hour, there are a few high clouds out there, but it's mostly sunny. We're sitting at 73 degrees at Sky Harbor. It's still very dry. Dew point's 23, humidity 15%, a light wind, and the barometer falling. Satellite picture out here across the west. Yeah, there's a few high clouds streaming across Arizona right now, thanks in part to a very weak shortwave that's just to the north of us that's going to drop on through tonight and tomorrow. It will have minimal implications on our weather, however. The watch warning map, hey, for this time of the year, this is a pretty quiet map. Yeah, there's some flood watches over western Montana up there around Kalispell. Some wind up there. Other than that, not much happening across the country right now. And so too with the convective outlook. No organized severe weather anywhere in the lower 48. In fact, not even so much as a single thunderstorm to be found out there. That's great news. I mean, not great news if you're a storm chaser, but great news for those of you that don't like severe weather. All right, the precipitation outlook, this is valid through Friday morning of next week. Rain amounts in Phoenix, nothing. Statewide, close your eyes, tell me what you see. The big old nothing here. High pressure is going to build in. It's going to be the dominant feature here over the southwest and through much of the western United States as we go into next week. We will talk about that right now as we get to the models, see what the future may hold. Here we go. It's the GFS, the 12Z run. This is valid at 5 o'clock this afternoon. There's that short wave dropping in from the north. When I say a short wave, I mean this is a very weak, positively tilted system, no real moisture with it. Just a few high clouds. What it means down at the surface for the rest of the day today, mostly sunny, high temperatures, mid to upper 70s. That's obviously several degrees above where we ought to be for this time of year. Tonight, clear sky, dry air. Overnight lows will drop to seasonal averages, 40s to about 50. And then tomorrow with that short wave moving on through, again, a few high clouds maybe. An afternoon breeze perhaps over the higher elevations, but other than that, very quiet, high temperatures, mid to upper 70s. Here we go to Sunday as that feature moves out. High pressure builds in from the south and west, and high temperatures are going to start to warm up to about 80 degrees Sunday, low to mid 80s on Monday. Tuesday, mid to upper 80s. And by Wednesday, those heights are really going to be topping out to around 582 decameters or so. And again, that represents the upper 90th percentile of climatology for this time of the year. And so afternoon highs in Phoenix will be close to 90 degrees. And we'll be challenging some records, not just here in the valley, but across the southwestern United States. And this ridge is really going to warm it up across much of the west. Now here we go to Thursday, and this is probably going to be the warmest day we've had so far this year, with highs in the upper 80s and low 90s in Phoenix. Some of the warmest desert spots will certainly be in the 90s. And again, the air will be very dry. Let's keep going. A week from today, this is Friday the 28th. And again, I remind you, this is still February. We're still out here at the very last day of the month. Now, interestingly enough, the GFS, the last several days, for many runs now, we've been seeing some sort of upper low approaching the California coast. And this run has kind of backed off on that idea, and instead it shows a weakening upper low coming into southern Nevada and northern Arizona late next week. And if that is the case, we would not see much from that. Maybe a few clouds, slightly cooler temperatures, some breezes, and that's about it. And so no major relief from this very warm weather. Again, slightly cooler temperatures, but that's about it. And going out 10 days, this is Sunday, the 2nd of March. That feature kind of moves on by. And another baggy trough is off to the north and west of us. And yeah, temperatures would be lower, but not substantially. We'd still be above average, with highs probably around 80 degrees. But that's one view of this. Let's take a look at the European AI model, and it is certainly more consistent. Now, first of all, it's got a very big trough in the east, and some wintry conditions would still continue with some cold air plunging all the way down to the Gulf Coast and some snow for the east and a big ridge out here in the west. But underneath that ridge, that upper low kind of comes on in, kind of a Rex block setup almost. With that upper low coming into Arizona. And it's a deeper solution than, obviously, the GFS. Now, this is still not exactly a bullish moisture setup. This is not going to be a big atmospheric river kind of scenario. But it would still probably have enough moisture and dynamics to give us at least a chance at some showers, at least some light precipitation, and much cooler temperatures. Afternoon highs would probably be about 15 degrees lower in this setup. So we'd probably be down in the 70s in that kind of a scenario. But again, and what I'm showing you here, this is Saturday, the 1st of March, off of the European AI model. But what do I always tell you about looking out this far? This is out at day 9. And so, obviously this is subject to change. Now, I will say the European AI is a pretty good model. It's very consistent. It has done very well. And this has been a scenario it is advertised on pretty much every run, more or less without fail for several runs in a row. But again, it's 9 days out. We're not going to get too excited about that just yet. Looking at rainfall for Phoenix out through the 7th of March off the GFS ensemble. You got 31 members here. The ensemble mean is, under 1/10 of an inch. European ensemble, you got 51 members. About half of them are showing measurable rain. But again, that's at about 9 and 10 days out and beyond. So watch model trends, but right now it doesn't look all that favorable. And then temperatures off the national blend of models. Hey, yeah, we're going to get warm next week. We're going to be up near record territory on some days. The warmest temperatures, obviously, we've had so far this year. Highs around 90 or so by the middle part of next week. And in fact, we could get into the low 90s on 1 or 2 of those days. And then we will see temperatures probably back off a bit. But by how much, that still remains to be seen. All right, now we're not quite done yet. I did get a comment yesterday, someone asking if I could do an in-depth look at the current dry streak that we've had here in Phoenix. And remember, at the end of last month, we did end our streak of consecutive days without measurable rain at 159 days. So that we put to bed. But that's kind of a meaningless statistic because it does not really encapsulate just how dry it has really been here in Phoenix. And kind of serendipitous with this tweet or with this comment was a tweet that was put out by Tyler, one of our storm chasers and a friend of ours here. And he noted yesterday that since the 1st of May here in Phoenix, we have only had 78/100ths of an inch of rain. So it's been about 10 months since then, and we've only had 78/100ths of an inch of rain. So as noted here, the driest ever 365-day period in Phoenix is 1.74 inches of rain. And that, again, any 300 doesn't mean a calendar year, just means any 365 straight days. You have to go back to August 19, 1920 to August 18, 1921. Only 1.74 inches of rain fell in that 365-day period. The point is, it is very realistic that we could break that dubious distinction. Obviously, whether we do or not, it almost really doesn't matter. It's kind of, again, it's just kind of academic here because it's just been so dry across much of the Southwest for so long. It would take a monstrous amount of precipitation to really undo this drought that we're in right now. And, it's not to be an alarmist. Our reservoirs and our lakes, our tributaries are still okay for the most part, but it's our groundwater supplier. The ranchers are certainly not having a good time. Our agricultural needs are not looking great. And with the prospect of a very dry spring ahead, that does not bode well. And so that puts a lot of emphasis on the upcoming monsoon. And a lot of the outlooks I've seen for our monsoon favor below average precipitation, but we will probably have a more in-depth look at that as we get closer. We're not going to even try and really get into that too much right now. And to further emphasize this point here, we'll show you. This is the rainfall that we've had. And if you look since May 1st, there it is, 78/100ths of an inch of rain. And, of course, several months we didn't have any rain. September, October, November, and December, nothing. Even May and June, only 1/100th of an inch of rain each. And January, 1/100th of an inch. And so far this month, and probably how we're going to end up at 2/100ths of an inch. So barely anything at all, folks. It has been just bone dry. And let's take a look at the CPC outlook. This is the Climate Prediction Center outlook for the 8 to 14-day period, end of the month here, out through the 5th of March. And if this is correct, temperatures are favored. The probability favors above average temperatures. And near to maybe favoring even above average precipitation out across most of the West, including the Southwest. With the exception of the Northern California coast up into parts of Oregon. But look, we'd take near normal because at least that means we'd get something. We'd obviously gladly accept slightly above average precipitation, but these are just probabilities. This doesn't really mean for sure any outcome is going to occur. It just means that odds are just ever so slightly skewed toward above average rainfall or snowfall up north. So we would take that. Anyway, that's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video is due back here on Monday morning. Of course, updates before that if necessary. Should you happen to enjoy these videos, then be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell, leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. If you really like what we do here, then click that thanks icon below the video here on YouTube and make those monetary contributions to us. Or you can donate directly via PayPal. groffshow@gmail.com is that PayPal address. It's groffshow@gmail.com for PayPal. The executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my one and only, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation and proprietor of sweetchildaz.com.org and the Facebook page of the same name, Sweet Child Arizona, talking about my Michelle, for whom I will have to be her voice, her literal voice, for a while she is recovering. But she's there. She's got her blogs, her videos, everything Michelle related. Check it out. It's linked up down in the description. Also, linked up down there is our streaming station. It's available 24/7, 365. It is called KMGX. We play a ton of music. We have a lot of fun over there. Give that a look. Give it a listen. Give it a gander. And if you don't want to click on the links in the description for it, you can just go to kmgx.com and listen directly via that way. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching, all of your continued support. It is so greatly appreciated. All of your nice comments, all the positive vibes and all that. Really, really do appreciate it. I really mean it. It's very helpful. Just a little bit goes a long way, folks. It really, really does. Thank you so much. You guys have yourselves a great Friday. I want you to be safe out there too, okay? Please stay cool, stay hydrated, all that. But be safe. And have yourselves a great Friday and a wonderful weekend.